equal in every way, beautiful, valid, equal in every way to all expressions within creation. Equal in every way. Unique, yes, but equal. Obvious. It's obvious to us. The key is to allow it to be obvious to you. April!
Yes.
Would you like to remove item 10?
Okay. Only now.
Only now. This will be short and sweet. We have already talked about this. And the idea is you already know this. You know you only exist in the now. And we simply use this opportunity to remind you once again, as we did last night of your time, one little extra point of view that can perhaps help you focus in on the true of the idea that there is only now, is because we know that many times humans, the physical brain, the physical personality, wants proof of this, wants proof of that. All well and good. But the point here is there is absolutely nothing you can do and absolutely no way you can actually prove the existence of the past. You cannot prove the existence of the future. You can only prove the existence of the now, because you're in it. It is self-evident. This is all about not just obviousness, but self-evidence. It is self-evident and obvious that you exist now. Yes? 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 Thank you. It is not evident that you exist in a past. It is not evident that you exist in a future. There is no way to prove the existence of the past. Because even if you find an artifact you say came from the past, you're holding the artifact now. You're creating it now in the present in order to even know about it. So that artifact doesn't come from the past. It exists in the present. Therefore, again, following the lead of the science of the obvious, when you simply relax and accept the fact you cannot prove the existence of a past, you cannot prove the existence of a future, the only thing left is to understand that everything and anything you discover must simply be another version of now, because that's the only thing you can prove exists, is now. So once again, from another perspective, you have a proof that now is all there is, because you simply will never be capable of proving that there is such a thing as a past or a future. You just can't prove it. You can't prove it because it doesn't exist. It's just an illusion. You can prove there's an illusion because the illusion exists now. But it all exists now and always ever will. That's all I have to say about that. At this time now. April.
Yes.
Let us take one more of the blue numbers.
You want to?
Do I? Do you? All right. Your class. What number do you want? And?
It says whole.
Whole. All right. Who wants to volunteer to answer this one?
You have to answer in the microphone, which is good. So who would like to volunteer?
Doesn't matter.
I'm answering the meaning of whole, correct?
You are answering the question I'm about to ask you. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Now, again, If you already know the answer to this riddle, don't say anything. Otherwise, answer freely. All right? Yes. Whole in this case is spelled H-O-L-E for those listening in. All right? Are you
Yes.
ready to answer the question?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sir. Oh, all right. Are you listening?
Absolutely.
All right. Are you paying attention?
Fully.
Thank you. All right. How much soil is in a hole 1 yard by 1 yard by 1 yard deep?
None.
I told you not to answer.
Oh, shoot.
That's all right. It's all right. You are correct. There is no soil.
Couldn't help it.
So the idea again is that you are truly beginning to pay attention. All right?
Cool.
Guess whatever temperature you want. Cool, hot, doesn't matter to me. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, Bishop.
Let's go to number 3. In the brain teasers. What do we have?
We have 11 letters.
11 letters. All right, who wants to answer this one?
Come on, somebody's brave. Maybe we should have someone.
Be bold, be bold. That's another thing this class is all about.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for volunteering.
Thank you.
Are you ready for the question?
I believe so.
Are you sure?
No, not really. But I'm going to try to be.
Well, all right, if you want. Or you can just be ready.
I'm ready.
All right, thank you. Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Which 11-letter word does everyone always spell incorrectly?
None.
No. Would you like another guess?
Which 11 letter?
Which 11-letter word does everyone always spell incorrectly?
There couldn't be one.
There is. There is an 11-letter word everyone always spells incorrectly. Incorrectly. Are you beginning to get the point? Do you see how obvious that is when you let it be? And how your own inbred assumptions took you in a completely different direction? I actually told you the answer. Thank you for your participation.
Okay.
Did you have fun? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Are you sure you're ready for more?
Yes. Bring it on.
Oh, all right. Oh, listen to the... Oh, all right. Bring it on. Beat us up some more, Bashar. All right. Well, let's do a little change of pace. Shall we? All right. You may, if you wish, pull the next number in the orange. 11.
I feel like I'm going two different ways. What?
Oh, well, that's all right. That can have its advantages. We have already done the normal numbers 1 through 10. And now the next one is,
11. Oh, that's your favorite number, isn't it?
it is a number.
We have C sharp.
C sharp. You may sit if you wish.
Okay, the letter C and then the word sharp.
Yes, C sharp. Now, I think some of the double entendres might be immediately evident to anyone. C sharp is what we are attempting to create here, your ability to see sharply what's going on in your reality, what's going on within yourselves. However, we are also talking about this to the musically inclined. Many individuals have asked the question over and over, What is the tonal vibration of the earth? C sharp. So, anyone who wants to explore the idea of playing with C sharp, and in fact it's actually just slightly above C sharp, but anyone who wants to play with that tonally with any of the other tools we have also used, you will find that by allowing yourself to resonate within a bubble of noise, if you wish, music, if you wish, vibration, if you wish, of C sharp, it will allow you to identify, resonate harmoniously with the earth vibration. And that can really help amplify any other thing you do, any other permission slip, any other tool technique that you wish to undertake, any other ritual, anything even that you wish to read. If you will have, and it doesn't have to be loud, if you will immerse yourself in the tone of C sharp, you will find that clarity will begin to really come in. You will literally begin to see sharp more things. So, the earth itself, the earth vibration will support you, will back you up, will give you momentum, and allow you to feel again that things are becoming more effortless, more easy. For you will be really tapping into the power of the entire planet that way, the planet itself that way. And it will support you as it supports everything in nature. Now, playing C sharp also in certain locations through certain devices amplified in certain ways can also actually help realign and clarify some of what you would call your environmental pollution problems. By having a frequency that entrains all elements in that environment to vibrate in harmony with the earth vibration will actually allow the earth's natural cleansing ability to realign and recrystallize those things much more quickly. So playing that tone in certain environmental areas will aid and assist in balancing out the earth, and especially if you play it in what you would call certain sacred sites or power points. And you can amplify this if you wish with crystals. Again, it is a permission slip, but at the same time, crystals are representative to some degree of that clarity, of that alignment, of that resonance that the C sharp represents, that the earth vibration represents. So anytime you can reflect that back to the earth, you will create an amplification wave that will build and build and build and build and build and start to help accelerate all the processes that need to be accelerated to bring clarity back to the earth in a multitude of ways. You follow along? You can find that out yourself. That is part of your exploration. I believe you call it, homework? This is, after all, a class. So, Earth's vibration is actually a little higher than that now. Go and explore, you'll find out. Go and explore, you'll find out. As you explore, that process itself will put you in touch with certain things you need to know to be able to really take advantage of some of these things we are talking about. So in this case, and in most cases, the process is key, is important. So if you find that suddenly your curiosity is sparked by that, go find out. All right? All right. Now, what is your time frame at this moment? All right. One moment. We will take a little time for questions.
Hi, Bashar.
Andrew, you good day.
I have two questions, and one relates directly to what you've been talking about, so there's a synchronicity there.
All right.
my my power has been increasing through my work, through my organization.
All right.
And I've discovered, or I realize that when I'm in very intense situations, I tend to get so stressed out,
You choose to.
I choose to lose my temper or react in a negative
All right,
manner.
and why do you choose that? What do you think that will get you?
Well, I've been trying to understand this more, and I was... Okay.
Keep it simple.
All right.
Just answer the question. What do you think choosing that modality will get you?
I suppose attention to the person that I'm in communication with.
Why do you believe that will get you attention?
Well, in the situation that happened last week, I was my assistant was arguing with me or trying to talk, and she wouldn't let me speak.
Yes.
She just kept going on and on and on.
Yes.
And I was under a lot of stress and pressure from other things,
I
and
see.
I yelled. And I hated myself afterwards for doing that.
I see. You like compounding this, yes?
Well, I choose not to consciously, and I want to
All
know
right.
how I can...
Was in your mind it ever a viable choice to simply walk away?
No, because the situation had to be addressed.
What makes you think walking away isn't addressing the situation? You see, you are coming into this scenario with a lot of assumptions, a lot of preconceived labels. When someone will not let you speak, walk away. Believe me, they'll stop talking. Once they stop talking, then you can come back.
Well, in other situations when this has happened, I discover that my voice and my tone when I'm communicating is sharp and
Yes.
negative.
Yes.
But in a professional manner, I have to continue communicating, but it's a challenge for me to choose to do that in a different manner.
Yes. So choose. If you know that's your preference, choose. But the point is, when you give yourself the space to not have to answer, you will then have more ability to choose to answer in the way you prefer. You're just not giving yourself the space to not have to answer. And that's what's putting pressure on you. You don't have to answer when someone insists that you should or when you think the situation demands it. You don't have to. You need to really rethink the whole concept of structure here for yourself, because you keep imposing structure on yourself that forces you into a box that you don't like. And that's what makes you squeal, because you're stuck in that box of your own making. As soon as you realize you can simply open the box and walk away, then you will take the pressure off. Then you can ride the wave of what happens next in a manner that you prefer. You need to be a little bit more creative about your options, which I think would go hand in hand with an organization called Create Now.
Yes.
All right? Relaxation is not just relaxation. Relaxation is also backing off of your preconceived notions about how you think things need to be done. You need to relax those restrictions, relax those limitations, relax those parameters, and open up to new paradigms and new ways of doing things. And if it spontaneously hits you, when you suddenly realize you're not in the state you prefer to be, in that moment, get into the state you prefer to be. And even if you don't actually walk away, by allowing yourself to suddenly tune the other person out and get into the state you prefer to be, again, they'll stop talking, or at least they'll stop what they're saying and look at you and go, "Are you listening to me?" You're saying, "Oh, I apologize. My mind wandered off into a state I prefer to be in." There are any number of ways to address this. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a secret, all right? The most important thing you need to not be afraid of is you need to not be afraid of looking silly. You need to not be afraid of not looking what other people think of as professional. You can be professional, but you don't necessarily have to be professional in exactly the way others might expect you to be professional. And you will never really be as professional as you can be if you don't center yourself to be the person you are. Because what you really, truly desire to be is professional as the person you are, not professional in the way society thinks you ought to be or in the way society has taught you to think you ought to be. Because then you're actually not being professional at all, because you're not being the profession of being yourself, which is the only profession you all have. So when you're attempting to be something you're not being professional.
That makes sense.
Yes. Then, when you are being your true professional self, anytime you need to communicate with someone, you will profess properly. Does that help?
It does. Does this relate to a lifetime or lifetimes I've had in Mayan? I was told that I had power and I was misusing it.
It is connected to some degree to this idea, but remember, that's not in the past.
Right. I know it's happening
You're
now.
cross-connecting to this idea. But nevertheless, that doesn't control you. It simply makes you aware that that might be one aspect of the process you're exploring. So it's not, in a sense, to be used as any kind of a controlling idea or an excuse or anything like that. Your awareness of that idea, of that other simultaneous concurrent life, simply is there to give you insight into how to transform the life you're living now in the way that you wish it to be. So if you recognize through that idea, that other incarnation, that there are issues of control here, then it gives you an opportunity to recognize that you can relax that control and allow true control to take over when you're working with the higher self, and not be so afraid of looking foolish, looking silly, looking unprofessional, doing something wrong, and all that. You need to really relax into who you are, and then you will say what you need to say in the way you need to say it, and you will not react, but respond appropriately to anyone else who might also be, as you say, out of sync.
Makes sense. Thank you. And I have a question for Terry Binkovitz, who was here last night. She and her partner took their 8.5-year-old. You can't talk about it?
Not now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
Yes. Hi, Bashar.
Andrew, you good day.
I have two quick questions for you.
Time's up. Not quick enough. Now,
One,
did the questions have to be quick?
well, they're easy. How about
All
that?
right.
I wanted to know if food really matters, what we eat. Meaning,
What an interesting question, and what an interesting way you put it.
Sure.
Does
And
food
can I add to that?
matter? Is matter food? Is food matter?
very, very nice. I wanted to know, like, there's a lot of preservatives in food nowadays, and
Yes.
there's a lot of controversy between eating organic food and eating food with preservatives in it. And
Why is there controversy? In what way did the earth actually provide the food? Did it provide the food with preservatives on it?
No.
Then why is that even a question?
Well, my question is more, is it really important from a broader perspective what we're putting into our bodies? Is it really important to
For most
eat
of
organic?
you in your collective agreement, yes. Because most of you are abiding by the collective agreement that you will actually get an effect from what you call chemistry.
Okay, so it does matter.
Yes. I am not saying someone cannot transmute or transform that, but it is not really the job of most of you in this life. It is not really what most of you have chosen to spend your time focused on. The idea, therefore, is take the path of least resistance. Why spend a lot of time transmuting preservatives and pesticides on food when you can simply eat something that doesn't have them to begin with? Is that not just as transformative?
Good point.
Thank you. I often make some.
Thank you. That answers that question
Yes.
perfectly. My second question is that I have some telepathy, some telepathic abilities.
All of you are telepathic.
And I wanted to know, how can we increase our telepathic abilities? Or do you have any suggestions for that?
Oh, let me think about it. Again, I remind you this. Using the advantage of your language, remember, telepathy is really telempathy. It's emotionally activated. The more unconditional love you have, the more you can identify with others, the more you are on the same wavelength as them, you will have the same thoughts at the same time. That's what telepathy is. You're not reading anybody's mind. You're having the same thought at the same time because you're on the same frequency. So, empathy, telempathy, empathizing, vibrating in harmonic resonance with someone through loving them and loving yourself will make you more and more and more experientially telepathic. All right?
What about if you're not vibrationally aligned with that person?
Then you're left to your own thoughts.
And there's no way that you can read their mind or get into their thoughts?
Why would you want to if you're not vibrating on the same level?
Good point.
Thank you. There's another one.
Well, I just want to know if the possibility exists
To what?
to read someone's mind, even if they're
You're
not
not reading someone's mind. I'm telling you how it works mechanically. There is no such thing. You're the only one in your universe. You understand?
Yes.
There's no one else in your universe to read. You follow me? The idea of others is not your universe. So the notion of reading someone else's mind in your universe is simply reading your own. But the idea is that you use someone as a symbol to resonate with, to take yourself to a certain vibratory level that then allows you to identify with and as that person. You see, this is like tuning forks. If you have two tuning forks that are tuned to the same frequency, if you strike one, the other one will vibrate with it in harmony. But if the tuning forks are not on the same wavelength, they will not vibrate in harmony together unless you strike them both, but then they will create a different chord. If you want to vibrate on the same wavelength, you must identify with and as someone in all the ways possible so that when you then create the same frequency, you will have the same thoughts at the same time, and that is telepathy. You're not reading their mind directly, but you know what they're thinking because you're having the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same perspective at that moment, at least as closely as you can. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, what I'm telling you is that's the mechanism. Even though I understand you euphemistically and colloquially refer to it as reading someone else's mind, that's not actually what you're doing, even though you know what they're thinking. Does that help you?
Yes.
You see, that's why when you see people who are in love, don't they often know immediately what each other is thinking? Don't they finish each other's sentences all the time?
Yeah.
That's why. They're in love. They're vibrating in a harmonious, synchronous way on a very similar frequency level. So they have the same kinds of thoughts at the same time. That's what telepathy is. You follow?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.